Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to address fatherless homes. It's something I've talked about in the past quite a bit, and it's something we're going to talk about again today, actually. And, not only the, issue, the root cause that is fatherless homes in this country that lead to many things, including the uptick in crime and everything else like that, but also the lack of men being able to discipline their kids, whether it be sons or daughters or whatever the case be. And this is kind of something I've seen firsthand a couple of times, honestly. I'm one of my neighbors who used to have, he was a good dude who went to high school together, and, he has a bunch of kids and stuff like that. And I've seen him discipline his kids firsthand a few times. And, the wife kind of like, she was basically like, almost like, you don't need to go that far kind of thing or whatever. But then there was a couple times I saw her even go further as what it was with the kids, because she was like, no, I already told you like 10 times, like, don't do that kind of thing or whatever. And, yeah, but needless to say, like, they weren't putting up with it from their kids, man. I don't disagree with it, honestly, because again, that's the problem. When you don't discipline children, they think they can grow up into a society and just be an undisciplined little asshole is what it is in life. And then they basically become a criminal, or they, end up in a morgue, or they end up on, you know, in prison for killing somebody else or something like that, for that matter. And what this actually came about was I was on Facebook earlier, and I found this thing that popped up in my feed from somebody else that was a buddy of mine, and then I went and saw to see if there was the actual video on any other place like that, and I did find a copy of it here on YouTube and stuff. So we're actually going to talk about what this whole thing was about here, which is basically Steve Harvey apparently did a show of some kind, like it was like a talk show or something, here at some point in the last couple of years and stuff, where he was talking to people about stuff. And one of the things that was brought up was from this chick right here. And the question was, are mothers who prevent dads from disciplining their sons out of line? The fact you even have to ask that question is kind of like an oxymoron kind of thing, because it's like, yes, you are out of line. Like, it's not that hard to figure out, lady. For real. Sorry, my thing is going a little wonky. I wanted to make sure I got a full signal here. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you are 100% out of line if you're stopping the kid's father from, disciplining the son or whatever the case be, if the kid's being a little, douche and needs, you know, a swat on the ass or whatever it is at that point, dude, which, doesn't always have to come to that, honestly. It could be, the sort of threat of that. And then, sometimes you might have to go that route, honestly. It's like, depends on the kid, honestly. It's like, for some kids, it's just like, the threat of getting a paddling or whatever the case be is enough, versus the other kids where you would actually need to, like, give them, smack on the butt, or a couple smacks on the butt, or whatever the case be, or whatever it is, dude. At that point, if you're, teenagers and stuff like that, I've seen a bunch of different disciplinary things like that, dude, where you literally would have, like, dad take the kids out in the backyard with some boxing gloves and stuff like that, and like box the kids is what it is, dude. When they're like, 13, 14, 15, whatever the case be. And it seems to work actually quite a bit. There was actually one I remember a couple years ago, especially, it was in the, I'm trying to think now. I think it was in the, like, Florida area, like some part of Florida. And it was like a predominantly black neighborhood and stuff like that. And they were doing, it was called like street beefs or something like that, I think is what it was. And it was basically like this whole thing where they would set up a ring in somebody's backyard, and you would essentially have anybody that had any issues with anybody on that, like, area, that they could come back to that backyard and basically have a fist fight with that person, and it would be cleared up right then and there. And what's funny is it actually downed the crime in that area for some time. And then, of course, fucking, what does government do? Government does what government does. You had some fucking dickhead politician get in office and was like, oh, we can't have this unauthorized fucking violence in some person's backyard anymore. We're gonna put in all kinds of sanctions against that stuff. And then what happened after that? Fucking crime started to rise again. You had fucking gangland murders all everywhere. You had a bunch of drive-bys happening again. And it's like, no, if you just shut your fucking mouth, dude, and just kept your goddamn mouth shut and let these fucking people address their issues by themselves without putting your fucking government ass nose into it, it would have been fine. It would have kept going. It would have kept on, and it would have kept the fucking violence down, dude. Because that's the thing, honestly. At the end of the day, like, there are times where sometimes you need like lesser violence to keep like worse violence from happening. You know, it's kind of like that whole broken window policy thing, where it's like in policing and shit, where it's like, okay, you know, you stop somebody who's doing graffiti now, or whatever the case be, so it's not like a bunch of gangland homicides like a year or two from now, kind of thing. To where it's like, okay, you got some like fucked up factory or whatever the case be, and like somebody smacks or throws like a rock through one of the windows or whatever the case be, busts one of the windows out, and then everybody else comes along and starts doing the same thing. That's what it is. And then you keep having like the denigration of stuff like that's what it is. And then all of a sudden it's like somebody starts tagging a bunch of buildings and stuff, and then all of a sudden it goes to even worse things than that or whatever the case be, and you know, drags the level of the community down and stuff like that. And then eventually it goes to, you know, rape, homicide, etc. Then. Whereas if you stopped it in the tracks to begin with, you know, when it got to that first person, you know, vandalizing like a building or whatever the case be, it might not have gotten all that route. Which, you know, some people would say that that's like sort of a pipe dream and stuff like that. Some others would say maybe it's like, you know, it may go that route, it may not go that route, kind of thing is what it is. I would say it's somewhere in the middle, honestly. We probably, like, it's hard to say if we should police like that, honestly. But I would say, honestly, like, yeah, there's a reason for misdemeanor crimes and stuff like that to be on the books. Because you never know if somebody's going to do something worse than that, if that be the case. You know, it's exactly why yesterday in Ohio, it's about actually 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning, actually, is when they voted the shit through. You now have Goddard's Law being a higher level felony, because it used to be something where you would have people doing animal cruelty stuff here that would basically get off with like a 4th or 5th degree felony and usually probation, you know, going out there and doing community service and stuff like that is what it was. And now you're doing actual jail time now under the whole thing. And for some reason, this was even more ridiculous. Apparently, there was another piece of legislation. I forget. It was like a whole bunch of stuff all together is what it was. That apparently Ohio was the last of 50 states to not have strangulation being a felony on our books right now, dude. And now it will most likely be when DeWine signs the bill here pretty soon. So, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous when you think about that there was no felony strangulation on the books in Ohio, but now there actually is going to be. Was it because there was so many cops strangling their wives and stuff in this state? Or was it like some other reason, man? Because that, honestly, it seems like something that should have been addressed like 20, 30 years ago, honestly, if that'd be the case, dude. When I was a fucking child, is what it is, you know? But anyway, going on to actually listen to this this little clip here. It's about a minute.
Disciplinary in the household. However, at times when he's going in on our boys, I'll chime in because I feel like he's being a little too rough on them. He feels like I'm making them soft.
Mm-hmm.
How should I respond to this, or how should I act in the situations when he's disciplining our boys?
Well, you don't have to agree with everything he does, but why don't you just stay out the way?
Exactly.
I mean, and I'm not being sexist, but listen to this. Why did you marry your husband?
Because I love him.
Is he the man of your dreams?
Yes, he is.
Is he the man you hope your sons will grow up to be?
Yes.
So why would you stop him from raising them into that? He is hard on them because they boys. Undisciplined boys grow up to be undisciplined men. Do you know the problem you're going to have?
Yes.
Undisciplined men end up in the hospital or in a prison, or they end up in a grave.
Exactly. And that's the exact problem right now. And, you know, and that's what I'm talking about with fatherless homes things, dude. Like, this is exactly why, when it comes to fatherless homes in this country, our country has become so fucked when it comes to crime and stuff like that, dude, because you have so many of these young men now being raised in a household by a single mother, or no parent at all for that matter, because it's either both parents are in jail or they're dead, or, you know, fucking mom OD'd on something and dad's in jail kind of thing or whatever, and then grandma's raising the kids, or it's fucking older sibling raising the younger siblings and stuff like that. And then you wonder why, you know, when you have no discipline, when you have no, you know, you push boundaries and you don't have any pushback, why you have these kids that are just going to keep doing all kinds of criminal shit, dude. It's why you had in 2020 There were fucking 9 and 10-year-old kids in Chicago literally stealing fucking cars, dude. And driving them into fucking buildings to go steal a bunch of shit. There was one video I remember watching from back then. It was the night of the whole Mile High like gangland robberies, what it basically was at the end of the day, where you had everybody going to downtown Chicago there to the no, not Mile High, Miracle Mile, that's what it was. Yeah, the Miracle Mile mall thing there, whatever it was. And they were just stealing everything, dude. And you had some dude who was like, it was like a black dude in like his 20s or whatever the case be, talking about these kids that were like 8, 9, 10 years old, coming up to him and being like, I don't know how to start this car so I can steal it. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Go home and go to fucking sleep, child. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, where the fuck are your parents? Seriously. Or grandparents or or aunts or uncles or anybody, dude, for God's sakes. And that's the entire problem right now, dude. It's kids raising fucking kids. I remember years ago when I was living in Columbus, honestly, I'd gone to where my apartment was down there. There was a Kroger that was basically catty corner from my apartment. And I had gone up, like, out of my apartment building towards the one sidewalk, started walking up the sidewalk, looked over to my right at that point, and saw a bunch of kids. The oldest one was probably like 7, maybe. The youngest one was pretty much still in diapers, like maybe a year old, 2 years old, something like that. And they were just walking along. No parent to be seen at all. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I realized they were also going to the store. And I'm just like, what, is there a parent that's drunk or high someplace that literally sent fucking 5 small children to a fucking store to pick up some groceries? Because Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, it was seriously fucked up. And all I could think was, like, dude, this is a major city. How fucking fast before these, or how fucking long before these kids get snatched up, dude? How fucking long before a van drives by and starts grabbing a couple of these kids out into it, man? And then driving off. Like, it fucking sickened me, dude. And I made sure to, like, keep a watchful eye over those kids, man, because I didn't want to see those kids get fucking kidnapped is what it was, dude. And thankfully nothing seemed to happen, but, like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, this is the fucking issue right now. When you have a lack of fatherless homes, when you have a lack of fathers in homes, when you have a complete overabundance of fatherless homes is what I meant to say there. When you have no disciplinarian at all, it seems like, when you have this entitlement culture of just super cunt mentality, there is a huge issue in this fucking country right now, dude. And that's what I've been talking to the General Assembly here in Ohio about, dude, for like years now. I'm like, you guys need to start addressing fatherless homes, dude. There's a reason why you have preteens and teenagers going to the Stark County Fair here and pulling guns on each other and starting fucking fights, dude, where you have to have the entire police department of Canton, Ohio, come out of the fucking woodwork and start mass arresting them, and like half the Stark County Sheriff's Department too on top of that. It's retarded, dude. It's exactly why, by the way, that Thomas West is no longer a sitting state rep after this year. Because this stupid fucking cocksucker, whose district the fairgrounds lie in, refused to address the continuous fighting for the past 10 fucking years at it, dude. When he was in office for like fucking 6 of them. And it's why Jim Thomas beat his ass. And I'm hoping that Jim Thomas will actually introduce legislation to make this fucking reality now, dude, and deal with the fucking shit. Here's what it is, dude. Address the fucking issues in his district. And I will 100% be on board with actually, if I have to, write the damn legislation for him to introduce, man. Because I'm to the point of like, nah, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, something needs to be done. It needs to be done now. And the reason that I say do it at a state level is because it's not just Canton, dude. It's every major city in this fucking state that has the same kind of issue, dude. It's a bunch of young kids being caught up in gang life because there's no fucking father in the homes, and they're searching for a father figure, and it happens to be local drug dealers in most cases, dude. It happens to be local gangbangers in most cases that want to use these fucking kids for their own ends. And it's fucking disgusting, dude. And that's the entire problem right now. And then you wonder why crime keeps spiking up. You wonder why we have such an abundance of criminality and stuff like that. You wonder why people are always talking about gun violence this and gun violence that. It's like, dude, that's not the issue that needs to be addressed. The issue is the jackasses behind the fucking firearm. The issue is the fucking kids being caught before they fall down that fucking rabbit hole of criminality. And it starts by having real men step the fuck up again. And I don't care if it's a father, a stepfather, an uncle, a grandpa, just some random dude in the fucking community, for God's sakes. Stepping up and actually disciplining these fucking kids, dude. And actually being there, you know, maybe to be an ear for these kids to talk to is what it is, dude. Because I think a lot of the times that's what it is, dude. It's these kids that have nobody to discuss problems with. And then they end up, again, getting into that gang life. And it's like, oh, well, this person's willing to listen to me and shit like that. Whereas you could have easily had, you know, some parental figure at some point, community center or whatever the case be, there for them and be willing to actually listen to their problems. And I think that's the biggest problem right now, dude, is that this is the kind of things we're not addressing. And then what's even worse is you actually have lawmakers in office here in Ohio, specifically my state rep, that thinks, oh, it's 18-year-olds doing that stuff. No, it's not, dude. It's fucking like half the fucking age at that point. Go 9 and above at that point, man. That's who's doing the criminality in the state right now, bro. That's when they're getting caught up in the shit. 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. That's where you need to catch them at before they get into that fucking lifestyle. So, yeah, needless to say, it's one of these things where it needs to be talked about, dude. It needs to be talked about, it needs to be addressed. Because when it is one of the main root causes of, I would say, at least half of America's problems right now, if you can deal with that one thing, and it will address like damn near half or at least half of America's issues right now, dude, why wouldn't you address the root cause? Unless you're directly benefiting from the outcome of it through privatized prison systems, through other stupid bullshit like that. And that's another thing too, by the way. The whole privatized prison system is an absolute fucking joke in this country. There is no fucking reason for any prison to be privatized in this country, dude. For anybody making profit off of people, who are incarcerated. And the fact that when you have people in a prison system, why the fuck are we not rehabilitating people at this point, dude? Why the hell are you having recidivism rates sky high when you could easily have these people better themselves in a prison system and come out a better citizen at that point? Come out with a degree, come out with a fucking, skilled trade, something, for God's sakes. Why are we not doing more dog programs in these places, dude? Hell, have these people train the fucking animals for the cops, for God's sakes, dude. Like, how hard would that be? And I guarantee you that would make these people better off, dude. At least the ones that are going to get back out of prison. Like, obviously, you got the ones in there for, capital murder and everything else like that are never seeing the light of day again. But yeah, the ones that are only going to be in there for like 5-10 years for like, fraud or tax evasion or, passing bad checks or whatever it is to do at that point, or maybe some drug issues or whatever the case be, detox their asses out and put them on a pathway to actually coming back out a better person is what it is, dude. To have a second chance in life. And that's my biggest problem with a lot of the shit right now. You have so many people that are, they're basically thrown away by our society when they don't need to be. Like, are there evil people out there that need to be just tossed in the fucking trash? Yes, there are. Are there others that should be given a second chance? Hell yes. And that's the problem right now. It's we as a society don't seem to want to give those people a second chance, and we'll just write them off immediately. And I'm not okay with that, man. Because there's a lot of good people out there that maybe they did wrong. Maybe they robbed a store, for God's sakes. You know, they fucked up. They robbed a store. You know, they were just trying to get a quick dollar, whatever the case be, because they were already like basically looked down upon and stuff like that, or maybe already had a criminal record, but it was like a less you know, things like a bunch of misdemeanors instead of felonies or whatever the case be. And they couldn't actually get a real job is what it was. So they basically took to that life of crime or whatever. And then they got caught robbing a store, whatever the case be, where like nobody actually got hurt, but like, you know, 4, 5, 6 years in jail now, or in the prison system. They now feel very bad about it and stuff like that. And they want to reform is what it is. And we're not giving them that leg up in society then when they get back out to actually have a chance to succeed. And to me, it's super fucked up, man, because it's like, again, why wouldn't you do that unless you're pro-privatized prison or you're actively the people that are behind the private prisons and stuff like that and the whole, you know, revolving door system of justice at this point, dude, is what it is. Where you just want these people to come back into the system again and again and again because it puts more money in your pocket. And I think, unfortunately, that's what it is a lot of times, honestly, dude. Especially when it comes to corporate lobbying in this country. And that's another thing that should be addressed at this point. When you have these corporate lobbyists literally buying off politicians, dude, to write this legislation to be like, oh, no, this is why we need to, you know, do away with bail funds and all this other stupid shit like that, dude. And then they are literally fucking having, you know, places like New York City and New York State and stuff like that going like crazy high crime rates now. Or, you know, Los Angeles, California, or any part of California for that matter, where you can have, you know, almost $1,000 of shit stolen, and it's not even a misdemeanor crime anymore. Or even in places like Denver, Colorado, where it's like, you know, $650 you can steal from someplace and get away with nothing on your record is what it is. And then you look at what the outcome of most of these things is, and it's people that are in political power, or it's their buddies or whatever the case be, that are sitting there driving down the price of housing and apartment buildings, everything else like that, to where they can start buying up real estate like crazy for pennies on the dollars, what it is, dude. And that's what the end game is in most cases, actually, dude. It's a giant fucking Ponzi scheme, basically, or pyramid scheme for that matter, for these fucking scumbag ass Bilderberg type people, that they can make themselves richer and richer is what it is. And it's exactly why we, the people, need to get into office ourselves at this point and start addressing this shit, or at the very least, becoming our own lobbying organizations and stuff like that, and going down to state houses and stuff like that and doing this stuff at a state level then, dude. And being like, no, y'all need to implement this stuff at a state level and start addressing the real issues here is what it is. And when they actually do that, and you can see, you know, crime rates go down, and you can see, you know, education levels go up, et cetera, and you can catch these kids before they go down that gang life road, we are going to be better off as a society then, dude. Much better off, honestly. And when you actually start, you know, teaching these kids the right way to live their lives and to be, you know, better adults and stuff in the future, to be good men, to be good women, etc., dude, to actually, you know, want to have a family and be monogamous and stuff like that, you will have a better set of future generations, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now is what it is. When we're all old and, you know, on our last legs and stuff like that, you'll finally have these generations under ours maybe be better people is what it is. But unfortunately, unless we start doing the shit now, nothing is ever going to change is what it is, dude. And it's going to keep sliding down to a worse and worse place then. Until eventually you see like a full-blown civil war in this country again, or a full-blown revolution in this country again, or a balkanizing fracture or something like that. And I don't know, like at this point, the way things are going, especially when you have all these, you know, anti-gun politicians in office trying to push all these things, like Illinois trying to push like pretty much everything to ban every single gun in that state, more or less. maybe it is time for balkanization across the board, dude. Maybe it is better just fucking, have peaceful divorce in this country right now and just sort of chill out for a couple of decades is what it is, man. Some of us go our own way and follow the Constitution and stuff like that and go back to a true constitutional republic in this country, and others go a stupid route is what it is and just keep doing criminal shit and stuff like that, or keep allowing criminality to flourish, etc. And we see which side actually wins out in the long run is what it is, dude. We see which one actually has like a better 20-year solution than at that point then. So, I don't know. I just know things are getting worse and worse, it seems like. You got people lying their asses off about inflation and everything else for that matter, and then fucking country's all going to hell, man, is what it really is. And the worst thing is, it's not even just America. It's worldwide at this point. It's pretty much every country just going to hell at this point. And again, it goes back to the same exact thing. It's fatherless homes issues, dude. It's the fact that you have people who aren't being raised correctly or aren't being raised at all that then turn around and just become little shitbirds is what it is. So, anyway. So, I am going to address something right now. I just jumped on Twitter here a minute ago. Y'all remember stupid cunt Nan Whaley who lost the governorship like about 5-6 weeks ago now? Apparently her dumbass still thinks she has any political relevance in the state, talking about our freedom to vote means freedom from barriers at the ballot box. HB 458, which includes voter ID, new restrictions on early voting, and limiting drop boxes to one per county will only deter eligible voters. So, first of all, you stupid fucking cunt, we never had fucking ballot drop boxes before 2020 election theft that y'all committed there. Number two, yes, you should have to show a valid ID to fucking vote at that point. Which, by the way, you can get a state ID in this state for less than $20 for about 10 years or so, give or take, that it's valid for. Number three, when she talks about restricting early voting, what she's really talking about is, no, you can't vote the day before a fucking election, or you can't be same day registered to vote is what it is, dude. Which shouldn't be a thing anyway. That's fucking insane. And yeah, I will be calling Governor DeWine's office, and I'll be telling him to sign HB 458, just like I told him yesterday. If he wants to seriously save Ohioans, sign HB 458 yesterday. So, anyway, I'm going to call her bitch ass out right now. Except you Democrats ever cheating in another election. You have a problem with voter ID. Get the hell Ohio, you politically irrelevant. Sorry, I actually need to keep forgetting how to spell it relevant the proper way, because it's always like one of those things where it never does. Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. That's better. Let's see who's been tagging me and stuff. Some chick's talking about me following her back. I don't think I'm gonna do that, man. I don't do follow back shit, especially people that tell me to follow back. So, 500 Magnum apparently found my account on Twitter yesterday. So, yeah, for those interested, I tweeted out a thing yesterday. I said Franklin County, Ohio, which is Columbus area, doesn't need 11 state congressional districts. It needs 1. The same goes for every other county in Ohio. 1 county, 1 rep. 88 counties, 88 reps. So, which is how it needs to be, honestly, at this point, seriously. Yeah, that's another thing that needs to be addressed in the state house, honestly, dude, is like, there's never a reason to have, 11 more people than there are, there, so. Maybe there's a reason for that, jackass. It's because he was doing some doxing shit. For those that didn't know about that one, I guess Elon Musk is now banning people from doing real-time doxing of people. Which, like I said before, doxing needs to be a felony in the state of Ohio and every other state for that matter in this country. Because it's not cool, man. All you're trying to do is get people hurt is what it is. Yeah, that's what's going on with the Antifa. The Antifa down for the count. I remember that. That was a good one. That was a few years back, actually. That dude beat that dude got like one knocked, honestly, dude. See what he knows talking about. 5 arrested at the Antifa autonomous zone in South Atlanta, hit with domestic terrorism charges. About fucking time. Police found a cache of explosives leading up to the raid. Militants tried to burn a man to death in a... Holy fuck. God damn, dude. Their group was using Twitter to raise cash. How the fuck is that even legal, dude? Seriously, that's just insane. Look at how psychotic these people look, too, by the way. Like, the last guy, the black dude of the 5 there, is like all smiles because he's a fucking idiot. But like everybody else just looks like a fucking drugged out nut job. The one in the middle there with the long hair almost looks like it could be a guy acting as if they're a girl, honestly. And then that would be the like brother next to him is what it would be then, probably. So, yeah, just fucking crazy, dude. Oh, good old Maxine Waters back in the day. Told Antifa rioters to get more confrontational. Yeah, I remember that shit. You guys may remember that. She did that, what was it? God, I'm trying to think of what the guy's name was now. The dude who, got shot in the car where the cop was like, taser, and then pulled her gun by accident and popped him one is what it was. And then that was the fall. That was Maxine Waters' bitch ass going out there looking like a fucking psychotic lizard person or whatever the case be, and being like, oh, we need to get more in their face and stuff like that. Like, how, seriously, how the fuck is this bitch still a sitting congresswoman after not only this whole thing here, this piece of fucking video clip here, but also the other one back in, I think it was like 2018, when she was telling people to go confront Trump supporters at the gasoline station, all the other stuff like that, and like getting their faces at restaurants and shit like that, dude. And it's like, you are literally committing domestic terrorism, bitch. How the fuck are you still in prison right now? You are telling others to go threaten American citizens. Like, why the fuck are you still in political power after this? Like, this is why like I've been saying for the last few episodes now, dude. This is why I'm so fucking sick and tired of the whole goddamn hypocrisy of this fucking country, dude. Because you can have piece of shit old fucking black Democrats like Maxine Waters come out of the woodwork like that, dude. Literally commit fucking domestic terrorism on U.S. soil. And say all kinds of shit of terroristic threats and stuff like that, dude. And yet her ass is still a sitting congresswoman. And the same thing with Tim Ryan about 6 months ago when he called for the killing in front of the MAGA movement and stuff like that, dude, talking about murdering American citizens then. And yet, I, as a private citizen, talk about a what-if scenario with Andrew Yang in 2019 and get a fucking federal swatting on my front door. Yet, meanwhile, you have physical fucking members of Congress talking about threatening and harming American citizens, dude. Which was way worse than what I did, by the way. Because these people actually have a fucking voice out there that would be used to make something happen. So yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit, dude, entirely. Got good old Larry Elder the other day saying if only Paul Whelan was black and or gay or played pro basketball. Yeah. To be fair though, like I've talked about Waylon, dude. Like, yeah, he might be a Marine and stuff like that, but from everything I understand about the man, he was 100% doing spy shit over there, dude. He was doing mercenary work, like wet works kind of stuff or whatever, dude. So it's like, no, we shouldn't have traded for anybody, dude. Is what it is. He should have been left over there, and so should Brittany Griner's ass. And Victor Bout should have been here on American soil being executed publicly. Is what it is for the shit he did. Is what it is, dude. So, anyway. Yep. All a bunch of truth tellers at that point. That was what I talked about the other day, actually. If you really want to behave like a fascist in the 21st century in America, you gotta call yourself an anti-fascist. Yeah, fucking Antifa literally assaulting lesbian feminists and trying to take their signs and shit. And that's what it is usually. It's always like some pussified little bitch is what it is, dude, who didn't get their ass beat by their father when they were a kid or whatever the case be, man. They want to go around and steal people's shit is what it is, bro. And you'll notice that with a lot of Antifa. Like, you look at, actually going back up further, honestly, on that one. You look at the faces of these people, dude. You can't honestly tell me that any of the 5 people that were arrested here ever had a real father in their life at all, dude. These people are 100% single mother homes at this point, dude. If even being raised by a single mother at all, for that matter. Actually, if that ain't the truth, hashtag Democrats are destroying America. Yes, they are. But yeah, it's just a bunch of shit entirely, dude. Like, and we're actually going to go to that and read it for a minute here because, again, it goes back to what we're talking about in this episode, the Fatherless Homes thing. So, anyway. All right, let me go ahead and jump off Twitter here for a sec. And then I just want to see if there's anything else they're talking about here at all, but no, doesn't look like it. Oh, wait, no. From the 14th, I'm never going to forget Kamala Harris going on late night TV and encouraging the carnage of the riots of BLM and Antifa to continue. These riots caused $2 billion in damages, killed at least 25 people that we know about, including cops, and injured thousands. Yeah, it was her bitch ass with Stephen Colbert there, dude. And again, that right there, right? And I'm going to go ahead and do a reshare on this whole thing, dude. Going back to the Maxine Waters thing. How the fuck is Kamala Harris still sitting in office right now, dude? This bitch has committed high treason many fucking times over at this point. Not to mention she's ineligible to even be in fucking VP ship right now because she's a fucking anchor baby in this country, dude. Both of her parents were foreign nationals the day she was born on U.S. soil, dude. Directly under the 14th Amendment, she's disqualified from even holding that fucking position of power at all, dude. The fact that this bitch is even still allowed to be in that position of power is absolute slap in the face of this fucking country entirely, dude. So, anyway. Then we got Andy No 6 hours ago saying, breaking, Antifa, terror-linked Antifa propaganda site, IND News, has been suspended. It's going down, publishes extremist text instructing readers to carry out political violence and assaults. In 2020, IGD claimed a terror attack and detailed to derail trains. 2 militants were ultimately convicted in that. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. See, then we got another one here from 23 hours ago. Said on a side note, Antifa and far left accounts are furious that posting live locations of their targets is now a policy violation. They feel like a tool they use to direct or incite violence, harassment, or robbery against their victims has been taken away. Yeah, pretty fucking disgusting, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Going back to the whole doxing thing about being a felony in all 50 states at this point, dude. Right there, smacking Antifa with a federal fucking felony, dude. For doxing people and stuff, dude. There is zero reason, and I remember this 4, 5, 6 years ago now, dude. Right around the time that Trump took office. And even right before that, even. It was back when Base Stick Man became a whole thing, is what it was, dude. You had these little Antifa fuckers running around everywhere with fucking cameras in their hands, taking fucking photos of everybody at random rallies and stuff like that, dude. And it's like, why the fuck are you taking people's photos unless you're trying to harass them in real life at their actual homes and you're trying to find information about them online so that you can actually find their real life locations at some point? And no, that's when you should be able to smack the fucking foot out of somebody's hand and kick it on the fucking ground and break that shit, dude. Or a cop should be able to grab the fucking phone out of those assholes' hands and fucking delete every single picture there, if that be the case, dude. And then yank out the fucking chip so they can't take any more is what it is. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude. But anyway, like, I'm personally just sick and tired of it, dude. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And then you had Elon Musk talking about this little fuckstick going after his kid or something like that, so. Yeah, so you got Justice Report breaking news. Doxing blog and Twitter account, the Autonomous Comrade Collective has been revealed to be none other than ex-journalist and lifelong anti-white activist Hillary Elizabeth Sagrot. Interesting. Not surprising, the least, actually, on that one. Let's see. The person, I don't even know, looks like German, maybe. It's basically talking about die Antifa scum, probably, is what I'm guessing, honestly, on that one. Yeah, never forget Antifa's an idea, according to dipshit Biden. I remember that. It's good. No, listen to that, though.
Well, white supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization. Oh, you got it. Not militia.
I'm sorry. Right then and there in that, Trump as a sitting president should have walked over and smacked Biden in the back of the fucking head for that one, dude. Like, honestly, that's how we should decide debates at this point, dude. Just a fucking fist fight. Whoever loses, loses. Whoever wins, wins, period. You know? Like, that's what needs to happen there, man. Let's go fucking full Thunderdome at this point, man, for real. Then you had December 15th, according to Elon Musk's son was put at risk by some psycho Antifa loser, and leftist Twitter is more concerned about him doxing the loser than a child's safety. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Then we had Annie Noah 13 hours ago saying domestic terrorist suspect Leonard Vasily of Macon, Georgia, is the only one who didn't scrub his social media in time before I saw it. He follows accounts mentioned above in the thread, in addition to the Atlanta cell of Antifa and other extremist groups. So let's go ahead and check this out, actually. So that would be one of the 5 that was arrested there in Atlanta, that they were talking about earlier. So we got that one, and then we got, let's see what it says here. So you got Leo following in Atlanta, IWOC, Atlanta chapter of the Incarcerated Workers Organizing Committee. So, criminals in prison is what that sounds like to me. Defend the Atlanta Forest, autonomous fight for the future of South Atlanta. Let's see what else. Atlanta jail support. We support protesters who get arrested by tracking them through the jail system and working for their release. So basically, getting fucking terrorists back on the streets is what they're really talking about there. Let's see. We got Atlanta Solidarity Fund. We provide support for people who are arrested at protests and otherwise prosecuted for their movement involvement. AKA Atlanta Solidified Fund is literally a fucking terrorist funding organization at this point and should be fucking arrested for such things. Same thing with the Atlanta jail support assholes there, dude. Then we got Refuse Fascism, ATL. Yeah, I remember those fuckers, dude. If I'm not mistaken, it was Refuse Fascism jerk-offs were the ones burning the American flags. And the one guy finally got sprayed in the fucking face for it. Then we had ATL Anti-Fascists, ATL Radical Art, and Atlanta DSA, which is Democrat Socialists of America. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Oh my God, bro. I'm going to go ahead and reply to Andy No on that one, dude. For those that didn't see what I typed there, I said, keep up the great work, Andy. You're a true fighter for sanity in this insane world. So, yeah, needless to say. We are going to we're going to talk about the other one then. We're going to go to that other thing then and talk about that, actually. Before we do that, though, I do want to mention this, though. this was actually funny. So yesterday, Kevin Sorbo, the guy who used to play Hercules, and he's also been a known actor and a bunch of other stuff, too, posted the following on Twitter, which was, they said, life is short, so make sure you spend as much time as possible on the internet arguing with strangers. And my response to him was, we'll do Hercules. Because it's just funny. It's just funny. You gotta make jokes sometimes. Obviously, I was making a joke on that one. Like, it was just sarcasm. So I don't actually spend a whole bunch of time doing that. And the people that aren't, like, honestly, most of the people I argue with online aren't strangers. It's dumbass politicians like Whaley and company like that. That's what it is, dude. So anyway, going back to the other thing, it said Andy No reports domestic terrorism charges for 5 arrested at violent Atlanta autonomous zone near Atlanta. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says it found explosive devices and gasoline at the raid. And of course, it was the second guy in there that was that Leo dude that didn't scrub his social media. All the other idiots did. So it says 5 militants, part of the violent far left occupation in South Atlanta, were arrested on Tuesday and charged with domestic terrorism and other felony charges. On December 13th, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, or GBI, launched a raid on the so-called autonomous zone at the site of the future Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. Since June 2021, Antifa and other far-left extremists from across the U.S. have descended on the location to prevent the construction of what they call a, quote, cop city. Responding law enforcement, so actually this is not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking this is the that Wendy's version of the Chaz. So apparently it's a different Chaz then, apparently. Let's see. I didn't even realize. Damn, dude. That's crazy though. Like, right? Like, unless you like know that shit's going on, you don't even realize it's going on. Because like they're saying there, it's been over a year now. I had no idea that was even going on, dude. Since 2021, June of 2021. So it's a year and a half almost at this point or so, give or take. That's crazy, bro. Anyway, it says responding law enforcement were assaulted with rocks and bottles by militants occupying makeshift tree houses. How much you want to bet those makeshift tree houses were just like them basically putting up like a couple pieces of tin in a fucking tree and then just living in it and like tying them together with like ropes and shit? Anyway, said GBI says it found explosive devices and gasoline after the rioters were cleared from the area. Let's see. It says 5 people arrested, charged with domestic terrorism and other charges after a joint task force operation at the site of the future Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. I love how they say it's a cop city. It's like, no, dumbasses. It's literally a fucking training center for police to be trained in how to become cops, you morons. Like, there's a huge difference there. Anyway, it says Serena Abby Hartel, 25, who has addresses believed to be in Los Angeles, California, and Boise, Idaho, was charged with domestic terrorism, criminal trespass, aggravated assault, obstruction, probably obstruction of justice would be my guess on that one, and inciting a riot. She was previously photographed in a mask for an Open Society Foundation sponsored story about the autonomous zone in The Guardian. By the way, for those who don't know, Open Society Foundations is George Soros's fucking NGO, along with about 50 others for that matter. And then what's even more interesting, actually going down to the bottom here, you got gun control advocates pressured CDC to remove gun-related homicide stuff that proved that their bullshit was just that bullshit. So, yeah, gun control advocates pressured CDC to remove statistics on defensive gun use, actually, is what it was. AKA Michael Bloomberg, Gabby Giffords, etc. were like, we can't have people knowing how many people actually defend themselves every year with a firearm. No, you got to get rid of that, CDC. It's not like you still can't find it on the FBI's website, by the way, which you totally can, by the way. Anyway, but yeah. So yeah, that one. And then you got Leonard Vasily, 20, of Macon, Georgia, was charged with domestic terrorism, criminal trespass, and possession of tools of the crime. That's a weird charge. I'm guessing it'd be more like burglary tools, maybe, like hammers and shit, maybe, or something. I don't know. Maybe we had a gas can in his hand or something like that. That honestly looks like 2 different people in those pictures, dude. Like the one with the phone in the hand in the bathroom there looks like the kid at like probably like 17, 18 maybe, when he just started doing drugs. And the one more recently with him at 20 years old here looks like a dude who has been doing meth for a few years now. So anyway. Oh yeah, I was right. Okay, so that is a dude then. Just a long-haired hippie motherfucker is what it is, dude. Yep. Probably living their life as a trans chick is my guess. Would be my assumption right now, dude. Yeah, Nicholas Dean Olson, 25, of Bennington, Nebraska, was charged with domestic terrorism, aggravated assault, interference with government property, and obstruction. Then you got Francis M. Carroll, 22. That dude honestly looks like the Wish.com meth head John Moxley. Like, I'm not even kidding around on that one, dude. Like, when I first saw that dude's picture, I was like, that kind of looks like the guy could be like the son of John Moxley at this point or something, dude. But nah, he just looks like the meth head Wish.com version of Moxley. But yeah, Francis M. Carroll, 22, of Ketterbort, Maine, was charged with domestic terrorism, criminal trespass, aggravated assault, felony obstruction, interference with government property, and possession of tools for the commission of a crime. And finally, you had Arion, or maybe it's just pronounced Aaron Robinson, 21, of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was charged with domestic terrorism, criminal trespass, and obstruction. What kind of dumbass smiles in their fucking mugshot, dude? Like, are you really that stupid, bro? Apparently so. Anyway, Tizon says the autonomous zone occupation has been growing since at least January, terrorizing nearby residents, law enforcement, and construction workers. The GBI said in addition to assaults, arson, and property destruction, there was a carjacking. The Atlanta Police Foundation estimates hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage have been inflicted on construction equipment in an ongoing effort to sabotage development. People do realize Georgia has constitutional carry, and I'm pretty sure they have a version of stand your ground. Kill these motherfuckers. Seriously. Like, how hard is that, dude? So, anyway. See, in May, 8 militants were arrested after police patrolling the land were assaulted. Again. Back in May, dude. Arrest them then, for God's sakes. Like, arrest everybody back then, dude. You only took out 8? Like, Jesus Christ, people. See, this is responding police were pelted with rocks and Molotov. Again, were you just arresting them for, like, assault and battery? Or were you arresting them for domestic terrorism then, dude, when they're tossing fucking Molotov cocktails at you, for God's sakes? Anyways, as nearly all the arrestees were from out-of-state people, with at least one, Abigail Spedbiak, I think that's how I pronounce that chick's name, having been arrested at a BLM riot in Minnesota in 2021. In August, another 6 were arrested for crimes ranging from burglary to criminal damage. Left-wing groups used Twitter to fundraise bail for the suspects. Again, that right there, this is the problem I have, because I guarantee they're using, like, GoFundMe and shit, dude. How the hell has that site not been shut down, dude? When you are literally helping bail fund a bunch of domestic terrorists in this country, dude. That is a bunch of bullshit entirely, dude. It's a bunch of bullshit entirely, dude. Anyway, continuing on with this, though. Indiana said back in May, said Aaron Adele Burke, 27, who has addresses in both Scarsville, Maryland, and Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, was arrested at the violent far-left occupation in southern Atlanta on May 17th, where rioters hurled firebombs at police. And then Abigail Elizabeth Spajak, 23, Minneapolis, was arrested at the same thing on May 17th, where rioters hurled firebombs at cops. She was quickly bailed out. She's a former Justice Department intern and was arrested at a BLM riot in Minnesota in 2021. These are the people running our fucking country. Are you kidding me, dude? And people wonder why the fucking Justice Department is weaponized, the FBI is weaponized. You literally have fucking domestic terrorists as part of your fucking intern programs, dude. Jesus, fuck. No wonder I was targeted in 2019, dude. Again, this is why we just need to shut down every alphabet agency in this country, dude. Because of fucking assholes like this right here. Anywho, said in the days ahead of the raid on Tuesday, rioters had been escalating violence by carrying out a series of arson attacks, including trying to burn a man to death. In late November, an auto mechanic who drove into the autonomous zone thinking he found free, discarded equipment reported to police that he was ambushed by people dressed in camouflage. Quote, "It seemed to me like they were going to burn the truck with me in it," Richard Porter told 11 Alive News. He was forced to run for his life as his vehicle was torched. Jesus Christ, dude. See, so less than 2 weeks later, occupants of the autonomous zone set fires on the road and hurled projectiles at first responders who tried to extinguish the flames. Later that day, on December 10th, 2 under-construction homes next to the quote-unquote cop city were burned to the ground. Dude, I'd be so fucking pissed if that was going to be my house that these fuckers burned. Like, nah, bro, I'm taking a bunch of fucking chunks out of their asses at that point on that one, dude. I'm beating the fucking money out of them on that one, dude, to pay for that house again. See, this is within 72 hours, a joint task force headed by the GBI finally raided the autonomous zone. Domestic terrorism charges in Atlanta is not the first time Antifa-linked suspects were formally charged this way. Samantha Francis Brooks and Ellen Brennan Rich were both convicted by federal prosecutors in Washington state for a terrorist attack on train tracks in 2021. The claim of responsibility for the attack was published on an Antifa propaganda site It's Going Down, which has an active Twitter account. Not anymore, though, because that was the one that was taken down then in the last day or so is what it was. So, anyway, said those occupying the land at the Atlanta Autonomous Zone have also maintained an active Twitter presence using the account Defend ATL Forest. Even after Elon Musk's takeover, Twitter remains an important function for the far-left ecosystem used to organize violent direct actions, identify targets of violence, and fundraise for arrested comrades. The day after their members were arrested, Defend the Atlanta Forest held a protest at the DeKalb County Jail where they lit off large explosive fireworks. However, they're not arrested right then and there for that. Additionally, the Atlanta Jail Support, a project of the Atlanta Solidarity Fund, immediately issued calls to fundraise bail money for the terrorist suspects using Twitter. Said 5 domestic terrorist suspects had mostly had their online presences scrubbed through a Twitter account, though a Twitter account remains active for Leonard Vaso. Under his account, Vaso follows the Antifa accounts from Portland, Oregon, the Atlanta chapter of Antifa propaganda site Unicorn Riot, Antifa activist Daryl Lamont Jenkins, among other far-left extremists. So yeah, there you go. There's all the shit that guy followed there. And then it said Serena Abby Hartall was an activist who appeared to be radicalized while at Pfizer College, where she graduated in 2020. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's all college-age commies at this point with these fucking people, for real. And let's see, it said the shocking arrests have mostly been ignored by national media, though governor, no wonder I haven't never heard about this shit, dude, because fucking local media, or mainstream media can pick up on what it is, dude. Because they don't give a fuck, because they're all the fucking, they're literally in cahoots with these fucking people, dude, is what it is. Said the Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, a Republican, issued a brief statement on Twitter. We will not rest when it comes to bringing domestic terrorists to justice, and these arrests should serve as a strong reminder of that. All 5 suspects remain in DeKalb County Jail where they are awaiting arraignment. Said all 5 terrorist suspects were denied bail at their bond hearing on Thursday. Fucking good. Fucking good, man. Fuck those people. Good. Fuck all of these fucking cocksuckers, dude, for real. It's awesome that every single one of these little dipshits were fucking denied bail at this point, dude. So, anyway. So we had Tin TV out there earlier. Thanks for listening, bro. Appreciate it. You know. Just to be clear, anybody that wants to come on, let me know, man. I'm probably going to start dropping links in the description box below for these, if you ever want to jump on the panel or anything like that. I'm also going to start at least once a week doing my day is your night streams and stuff like that. That'll probably be like an hour and a half to 2 hours, honestly. And we'll basically just be shooting the shit there. I really like doing that one with Corey and Chris Reed the other day. And hopefully we can do some more of those and have some other people jump in as well, dude. I can have 5 people on the panel with myself as the 6th. And, you know, if anybody would want to jump on, let me know. And we'll pop you in if we can. So if it gets to a point where we have like 7, 8 people or whatever the case, we have to start shipping people around. Like, you know, obviously I'm going to try to stay on the panel as much as possible since it's my channel and stuff like that. And we'll just sort of ship out of the people that aren't really talking too much or whatever then. So, because unfortunately I can't pay for the actual thing to get 10 people on the panel is what it is. Because I don't have the money is what it is, man. So, anyway. Oh, there was a chick here apparently who was talking about December 10th. This is going back to the Antifa thing here on Twitter, which I'm not screen sharing for some reason. It was a girl who was talking about being robbed by some Antifa piece of shit is what it is. So let's go ahead and go back to that.
Yeah, so I was there covering the drag queen story hour
Oh,
event.
she was
there was
Rebel News journalist.
A planned protest against this event, but the main organizers ended up canceling the event. I would say about 100 Antifa came to protest, all in black, shielding their faces, umbrellas. They had walkie-talkies today so they could communicate.
They were basically running security, right?
Running security.
Yeah.
To Target.
Wow.
They were, when I arrived, they immediately started taking pictures of my license plates. I have that on camera too. So hoping to get my new phone and all this footage to upload. They immediately spotted me. This one Antifa live streamer, she likes to dox me. So she called her comrades to come and get me. And once she started coming after me, they all showed up with their umbrellas, were pushing me out of the way. And I said, look, I'm happy to leave. And I actually was headed out and going to cross the street. And they still were.
You know what doesn't stop a bullet? An umbrella. I'm just saying, man.
Mobbing me to my car. And so one of the Antifa actors came up from behind, and that's when they stole my phone.
Was it a he or a she?
Oh, it was probably a they, them, he, it, that. So it was a male, a biological male, about 5'7", skinny, white dude.
Yep, they all are.
You know, probably just hates life.
Malnutrition motherfuckers, man.
I didn't because Jonathan, they love to hide their faces under masks. So no.
Yep.
But I want to say
malnutrition methods.
Very fair skin. I would believe that he would probably be a redhead if I had to.
Fucking ginger.
So he snatched the phone out of your hand. I mean, what happened?
He grabbed. Well, he assaulted me, knocked my arm, grabbed my phone. He actually ended up falling to the ground after he grabbed my phone. And then I tried getting it back. So there was a little bit of struggle. And then he ultimately grabbed it and fled. And it's me versus 100 Antifa. So I just decided to cross the street. And that's when I luckily saw you, Jonathan, because after the reporters denied me from making a call,
reporters wouldn't allow you to use their phones?
Yeah, just to make a quick call. And there's no police on the ground. There's no police presence.
Christ,
so
dude.
I'm also in an area that I'm not familiar with, so I have no idea where to go. It's time that these Antifa terrorists, which is what they are, stop acting without impunity. So
You're okay, though.
I'm okay. That's the good part. I'm okay. I'm pretty mad. I would say I'm just very angry.
You're going to be back out in the field, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to know exactly why Antifa is allowed to have these strongholds in places like Washington State and Oregon, it's because the people in these states are too goddamn pussified to deal with them fucking terrorists the right way, dude. Which needs to be done at this point, seriously. And of course, this one was from the Aztec Theater in San Antonio. They were doing that drag show the other day. You got about, looks like about 20-ish or so. Looks like armed Antifa terrorists. Seriously, how the fuck are convicted felons allowed to have AR-15s, dude? Oh, yeah, that's right, they're not. But yet, pieces of shit like Biden and company never want to talk about these motherfuckers, dude. Never want to talk about these motherfuckers. Because they were the ones bail funding them in 2020 to make sure they didn't become felons. And that's the entire point of the whole fucking thing. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. It's getting a little hoarse. But yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. Bunch of fucking bullshit entirely. Let's see what else we got here for Antifa. Got Speechless. This is a new low code among journalists to get each other's backs. Photog does not even allow her to use... Okay, so yeah, that was the chick they were talking about earlier. Yeah, douchebag photographer guy wouldn't even let her use his fucking phone for a minute so she can make a call. What an asshole. Honestly, that's a great reason to have a second phone on you if you're going to do stuff like that. And also have a gun on you, too, by the way. If they want to fuck with you, dude, fucking make them scared again, is what it is, dude, and fucking pull a gun in self-defense then. See, we got December 12th, Marjorie Taylor Greene, current congresswoman, saying only time Democrats support the 2A is when armed Antifa LARPers want to defend perverts at drag queen story hour, or when leftist Hollywood celebs and politicians are protected by armed bodyguards. Exactly. Oh, we got Catherine Bennett trolling Antifa here. Or not Catherine, Caitlin Bennett. Oh, no, that was from a couple years ago. Never mind. I was going to say, I thought that was an old video. Yeah, that was from like 2-3 years ago with Caitlin Bennett's ass. That was when she first became famous, is what it was. Let's see, then we got December 13th, Randy No. It said, breaking update, Portland grand jury has chosen not to indict Officer Mina Cavati Singer for shooting dead an armed man who shot a round near her colleague's head during an attempted arrest. Antifa protested the shooting at the time, saying the police should have been killed. Got Babylon B on the 10th saying, fun new Antifa on a shelf doll burns down different part of your house every night. Yeah, sounds about right. We got Tommy Lauren on the 11th saying election deniers and COVID pandemic truth tellers were deemed too dangerous for Twitter, but BLMers, Antifa, and child porn was all just free expressions. Yep, sounds about right. Then we also got from the 11th here, Comrade from Hell. Christiania's Comrades is an Antifa far-left militant who has been a thorn in the side of that journalist chick Katie. So, however, footage today actually collaborated Katie's experience as other Seattle media refused to let her use their cell phones to call 911. Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. So fucking crazy. There's that Katie chick. And we on the 10th, Andy No saying about the dude who used to be Twitter's head, Yoel Roth, and other Twitter staff discussed how they could wrap the terms of service around the interpetitioning to justify a permanent ban on Representative Matt Gaetz. So you're literally denying a sitting congressman free speech. That's pretty fucked up. And totally unconstitutional, by the way. They couldn't find a policy violation, but nonetheless wanted to silence Gaetz over his political views. Fucking ridiculous, dude, entirely. Then we had December 12th. Said, can you also forcibly denounce the actions of BLM Antifa rioters during the summer 11, 2020? Rioters that Biden and Kamala Harris both enabled, and also bail funded, by the way. Like, point that one out, dude. By the way, this is all for educational purposes. Just make sure on that one. This is all educational purposes, YouTube. This is the kind of shit that we had to deal with 2 years ago, dude. Look at that. Stealing fucking 6-7 TVs from a fucking Target, dude. Literally assaulting old women. This is what BLM and Antifa terrorists do, man. Terrorist gonna terrorist, bro. Fucking insane, bro. All right, that's about enough of that then. Yeah, it's a bunch of sick sons of bitches, dude, is what it is. It's a bunch of assholes from Fatherless homes is what it really is, man, for real. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and see what Andy No was saying here in this one.
So Twitter's under the prior regime, and I think some of these rules are actually still in place currently, but basically truth-telling, depending on what it was, could actually lead one to get suspended. So, for example, if you misgendered somebody, you could get you were forced to delete that tweet in order to come back on. If you so-called dead name someone, and in the case of me, for example, in my reporting, I always report out prior legal names or known aliases of the criminal suspects, and that in at least one instance have been found to be a violation of the so-called dead naming policy of a trans person. So you see here, it's like you can actually state an empirical truth or a statement of fact and still be found to be in violation of TOS previously. You know, and one thing that I do want to say is that I think sensible people agree that there needs to be content moderation. Yes. I'm not arguing for a complete free-for-all. However, for content moderation to be legitimate, the rules have to be clear, and it has to, most importantly, be applied equally.
Yeah, and you also can't change the shit up every fucking 5 minutes just to ban people like Alex Jones, etc., dude.
And what I've seen in my reporting is that behind the scenes, when there was all this emphasis on suppressing or censoring conservative or right-wing accounts or ideas, there was all this looking away when far-left violent extremist accounts, and particularly Antifa, which is what I report on, use Twitter as part of its ecosystem to organize riots, promote riots, tell people what weapons to bring, tell people how to
your life.
Avoid arrests. And crucially, after if there are arrests, raising money through sharing links and accounts on Twitter.
Yeah, it's so fucked up, dude. That is 100% should be illegal, by the way, on any of these sites. And then we had a couple days before that, Andy No saying, Chow Show recorded the Antifa militants and their allies who showed up at the drag queen story at Brewmaster Tap Room in Renton, Washington. Antifa urged deadly violence against those who would protest the event. Yeah, pretty sure that's fucking terrorism, you dickless fuckboys. So, and again, this is why we're going to be in a civil war / balkanization event pretty soon in this country, dude. That's what's coming to it now. It's coming to pop off very soon, man. It's going to be good American citizens finally dealing with terrorists once and for all in this country, dude. Because honestly, these cocksuckers right here, these little mask fuckers right here, dude, that are trying to throw deadly force against everybody that will be listening to this, they want you dead, man. They think they're going to be the ones putting you up against a wall if they ever got power in this country, not realizing they would be the first dipshits, useful idiots, morons, etc., put up against the wall by the actual state then at that point, dude. So, yeah, needless to say, they're a fucking cult, dude. They really are. It's a cult of terrorism is what it is, dude. Cult of commies. All they're missing is their Jim Jones at this point, dude. Legitimately. All they're missing is Jim Jones and a Jonestown settlement. And I think that might be coming pretty soon, too, as well. Like somebody just stepping up and becoming the new Jim Jones and shit. And doing a new Jonestown settlement with these nut jobs. So, anyway. Yeah, that's about enough of that, though. At least it wasn't, well, I don't know. It might have been considered an all-ages one. I have no idea. I didn't pay attention to that because it was in Washington State there. But it wouldn't, well, I mean, it wasn't a tap room, so probably not. But then again, there was other ones at like clubs and shit that were all ages and stuff like that. So maybe there was. All right, let's see what else we got here. Anything else we want to talk about here? Try to go back up a little bit there. See if I missed anything. Okay, that was from the same day. Said Antifa using Twitter to organize a violent direct action against those protesting a drag queen story in Renton, Washington today. One group suggests comrades shoot people. Terror-linked groups like Elm Fork JBGC are being tagged in that. Then we had Elijah Schaefer on the 11th saying, Antifa is still active on the ground. They are violently defending child sexualization events. Dirty, disgusting degenerates. That Katie chick risks her safety daily to provide real coverage of these events. Should be armed at this point, seriously. Be armed at these fucking events, dude, seriously. Then we had Charles R. Downs say, in Democrat-run Portland, all your Christmas shopping is free with promo code Antifa. Yeah, literally smashing up windows of different buildings and shit, it looks like, to go steal shit. Fucking insane, dude. I don't understand how anybody still has any kind of store in these fucking cities, dude. In these shithole states like that. Like, nah, yank your fucking businesses out of them and bring them to red states, dude, for real. And tell these left-wing assholes that are running these states to fuck themselves, and that's why you're leaving, dude, because of their fucking terrorist-ass groups like Antifa and BLM that are destroying their fucking businesses. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Alright, let's keep going here. We got, okay, that was another one from the same thing. Something in English, or not in English, I don't understand, so. Then we had an operator 13 hours ago saying, Twitter won't protect you now, Antifa turds. And then it was him tagging Elon Musk. Elon Musk said, Twitter obviously must be fair to all, so we'll aim to stop violent extremism being promoted by any group. Good for you, Elon Musk. Good for you. Not on your side, bro, because I think you're still a scumbag as well, but, at least you're doing things the correct way, it seems like now, and throwing out equal justice there. Promo codes Antifa and mostly peaceful protests give you free Christmas shopping in Detroit, Democrat-run Chicago. Yep. Just swipe everything you can, brother. So, let's see, making sure there's nothing else I want to talk about here. Let's see. Antifa is a terrorist group. And Miles Chung, Twitter wanted to ban Representative Matt Gaetz for going after Antifa, despite the fact that he did not violate any terms of service. Antifa is a terrorist organization. And that was Michael Spellenberger said, Roth pushes for a permanent suspension of Representative Matt Gaetz, even though it doesn't quite fit anywhere. It's a kind of test case for the rationale for banning President Trump. Yeah, fucked up, man, entirely. Okay, it just looks like there's more stuff from like the last couple days then, so. But yeah, if you want to talk about Fatherless homes, dude, it's all these jackasses coming from Fatherless homes and fucking methed out, drugged out, fucking degenerate behavior is what it is, dude. And then you wonder why these nut jobs are running around fucking masked up, because they're a bunch of ugly motherfuckers, what it is, dude. That don't want to be identified, so. And thankfully, they finally are getting identified, so that's a good thing right now. And that's all I'm saying about the end of the day. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And just to reiterate to the YouTube admins and stuff out there, everything shown in today's episode was for educational purposes. Do not give me a channel strike, because I will fight it. Because there's no reason for any strikes here, man, when I am literally doing nothing wrong and I am simply educating people on the terrorist organization that is Antifa, as well as a terrorist organization that is BLM. So, anyway, and we're also talking about fatherless homes, which is a big-ass fucking problem right now in this country, and 100% has to do with all these jackasses, what it is, dude. So, needless to say, that's where we're at right now for the day. And, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, and that's where we're going to go to and everything else like that. Wow. I love how this one dumb bitch was talking about Antifa in the perspective of, like, white hate and stuff like that. It's like, you realize that literally no one in that crowd is Antifa, you dumb cunt. Yeah, these fucking people, though, I swear to God, dude. Yeah, I was trying to figure out the best way to insult this chick without actually getting banned. I just say you're clearly a moron because she doesn't know a damn thing about anything, dude. Like, and honestly, like, I'm sorry, but like, specifically going back to Twitter for a minute though. How the fuck is this Shelby woman not being able to now be sued by anyone who was part of the Make America Great Again, hat wearers / Proud Boy people that were there that day, getting into it with Antifa and shit like that, dude. I'm pretty sure it's the fucking Proud Boys that are the ones yanking the Confederate flags, you stupid bitch. So, yeah, you're just a fucking idiot, lady, for real. And the worst thing is, these are the stupid fucking cunts in our society that still have voting rights, dude. I'm gonna go look at that one's profile says. Hashtag the resistance, give me liberty, give me death. Vote blue 2022, lock Trump up. Fucking moron. Yeah, of course she's an American liberal. No, what she really means is she's a fucking communist. She is a fucking commie piece of shit in America is what it is in 2022, dude. Fuck you, commie. Stupid fucking cunt. I've had it with these fucking people, man. I really have. Really, really, really have, man. Again, going back to what I've said in the last couple of days, there's a reason why the 19th Amendment was at least partially a mistake. So. Anyway, let's see. That was Antifa screaming, fuck you, Nazis, and stuff like that. Last one was on the 9th. You can't beat the Christmas deals in Democrat-run Philadelphia. Remember, for all items to be free, you must use promo codes Antifa and mostly peaceful protest. That's funny. And, yeah, just to go ahead and share that one real quick. It's literally just a whole bunch of people stealing shit from a mall, it looks like. Look at that, man. Just car after car after car, just fucking jacking everything is what it is, dude. Like, good lord, man. Fucking ridiculous, dude. Yep, just stealing a big old TV there. And people wonder why fucking shit goes up in price so much, dude. Because these little assholes keep stealing everything is what it is. And you're going to have people realizing one day very soon, dude, like, it's going to be time to restore law and order hardcore in this fucking country, dude. And American citizens are going to do it, honestly. So, yep, needless to say, shit's about to get real, I think, in this country very quickly, man. And there's a lot of motherfuckers that aren't going to be able to handle it, what it is. And there's a lot of fucking people who are just going to be shitting their fucking pants when they see real men again. That's what it'll be, dude. So, anywho. Okay, we're back at the top. What the hell, man? I thought I had... that's what happens. It keeps popping up different stuff now. Son of a bitch. Yeah, it keeps fucking flinging up different things now in this. Damn it. Oh yeah, I do. Oh my god. So we gotta leave it off with this one, dude. Gotta leave it off with this one. Good old pants shitter Jerry Nadler himself talking about Antifa is an idea. No, Antifa is a myth.
There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa? That's happening in Portland right now. That's a myth. That's being spread.
How the fuck is this old man still a congressman, dude?
Yes, sir. There's videos everywhere online. There's fires and riots. They're throwing fireworks at federal officers. DHS is there. Look online. It gets crazy, Mr. Nadler.
Wow. So he thinks it's fake news.
Antifa's a myth. Yeah, Antifa's a myth in Portland. Meanwhile, the whole city is on fire and they're trying to burn down the courthouse.
Again, The worst thing Trump ever did in this country was not enact an insurrection act. Right then and there for that fucking courthouse and shit, dude. So, anyway. That's pretty much where we're at for the day, though. I've gone about an hour and a half now, and I think it's about time for me to go game again because they're doing an update right now. I'm going to check and make sure I can game again, because if I can, I'll actually go game again then. And then about an hour or so, I'll probably go to sleep for a while, and I don't know if I'll be up later today or not to do stuff, but, it depends. If I'm not up to do stuff today, or if something happens where this account gets hit or whatever with a strike or whatever, we're going to get our backup account going, which is going to be called the network from now on. And we'll basically stream on that one then if that be the case. So, anyway. Yeah, this is just re-showing a bunch of other. Okay, so I'm trying to find that if I can find that one fucking video now. Yeah, because a lot of that shit was the most recent stuff. That was a Caitlin Bennett one. Oh, wait, no. Okay, that was the one from earlier. Okay, cool. I found that one again. I wanted to watch that video on my own, actually, the 3.5 minute one there, or whatever, because I'm going to tag some people in that later on some other social media sites. That would be like, hey, remember this shit? Remember Biden being a fucking scumbag asshole cunt? Yeah. America remembers. America remembers the cheat, motherfucker. So, anyway. And we will not forget, and we will not forgive until all your asses are in prison for high treason. And it's as simple as that, man. So, anyway. Like I said, hope you all enjoy this episode, and I'll see you hopefully for the 2A cast tomorrow. But if I don't do a 2A cast tomorrow, I'll probably do something this weekend. I don't know. It depends. Depends on how I'm feeling, because I'm about probably 90, I'm still about 95, 96% right now. Still having a little bit of sinus issues and stuff like that going on. I'm not fully back to 100 yet, but I'm getting close. I'm getting real close. And yeah, sometimes I do have to, step away and cough or sneeze or, blow my nose or whatever the case be, because it's just a bunch of crap right now. But again, that's holiday time period, and unfortunately, that's a weather, with cold weather brings sickness and et cetera, and with hot weather, it brings back riot season, baby. And I think we're about to experience riot season really hardcore come spring and summer of 2023. So, anyway. That being said, that's where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all in the next one.